Walk into a bathroom in Seoul, in an ordinary apartment, nothing fancy, and look at the toilet. The porcelain is white. Not used to be white. Not white if you squint. Genuinely, brightly white, like it was installed this morning. And here is the part that surprises people. Nobody in that home spends their weekend hunched over the bowl with a brush and a bottle of bleach. There is no sharp chemical smell hanging in the air. So how does that happen? How do you keep a toilet looking brand new without the dreaded scrubbing that the rest of us put off for as long as humanly possible? The answer is not one magic product. It is an approach to the bathroom that most of the world was simply never taught. It runs on cheap natural ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen, on a couple of daily habits that take less than a minute, and on a bathroom culture that quietly stops stains before they ever form. By the end of this video, you will have every one of these methods, and you can start using them tonight. So why is the rest of the world still reaching for bleach when Korea figured out a calmer way to do this? Before we get to the methods, we need to talk about what most people are actually doing to that toilet every week. The standard approach goes like this. You ignore the toilet for a week or two. You let the stains creep in around the waterline. Then one day it looks bad enough that you snap, pull on a pair of gloves, pour in something with chlorine in it, hold your breath against the fumes, and scrub until your arm aches. You get it clean. And then you do the exact same thing again next week. Think about that cycle for a second. The entire strategy is built on letting the problem get bad and then attacking it. The cleaning aisle loves this, by the way. If you believe toilet cleaning is a miserable weekly battle, you will keep buying the most aggressive, most heavily marketed product on the shelf. The worse the job feels, the stronger the bottle needs to look. Korea took a completely different path, and it starts with the way the bathroom is thought about in the first place. In Korean homes, there is a principle called 정리 정돈. It translates loosely to tidying and arranging, but it means more than putting things back where they go. It is the idea that cleanliness is something you maintain in small, constant motions, not something you restore in one giant effort. A space never spirals out of control if you never let it spiral in the first place. There is also the everyday instinct people describe as pali-pali, which means quick, quick. It is usually talked about as a speed and efficiency thing, but in the home, it becomes something useful. You do not let a small mess sit. You deal with it now while it is still nothing, because waiting only makes the job bigger. Put those two ideas together, and you get the whole philosophy. Instead of letting the toilet become disgusting and then declaring war on it, the work is spread out into tiny daily motions, so the toilet never gets disgusting at all. And the foundation of that is almost laughably simple. It is the 1-minute daily wipe. Keep a cloth or a pack of cleaning wipes right next to the toilet. After the last use of the day, give the seat, the rim, and the outside of the bowl a quick wipe. That is it. 60 seconds. You are not deep cleaning. You are just removing the day's residue while it is still fresh and soft, before it has any chance to harden into a stain or feed any odor. It is the same reason rinsing a plate right after dinner takes a second, while letting it sit for 3 days turns it into a scrubbing job. Fresh wipes away. Old fights back. There is a second habit that matters just as much, and it is about discipline rather than effort. Strict tool separation. In Korean bathrooms, each cleaning tool has exactly one job and one area. The cloth that wipes the toilet seat never touches the sink. The brush for the bowl never cleans anything else. This sounds like a small detail, but it is the difference between actually removing bacteria and simply smearing it from one surface to another. Many Korean households take it a step further with dedicated bathroom slippers, worn only inside the bathroom and never anywhere else in the home. So moisture and bacteria from the bathroom floor never travel through the rest of the house. It comes from a deep-rooted habit of separating clean spaces from unclean ones, and it works. So that is the prevention layer. But what about the toilet you are looking at right now? The one with the yellow and brown buildup that has been creeping in for months? That is where the natural methods come in, and the first one costs less than $1. Citric acid. If you have ever bitten into a lemon and felt that sharp sour hit, that is citric acid. It shows up naturally in citrus fruit, and it is one of the most useful bathroom cleaning ingredients there is. Here is why it works where ordinary cleaners fail. Those stubborn stains around the waterline are not really dirt. They are mineral deposits. Calcium and magnesium from your water supply bond to the porcelain over time, and most cleaning sprays just slide right over them. Citric acid works differently. In chemistry terms, it chelates those minerals, which basically means it grabs onto the calcium and magnesium and pulls them off the surface. The stain does not get scrubbed away. It dissolves. Here is how to use it. Mix a tablespoon of citric acid powder into about a cup of warm water in a spray bottle. Spray it generously around the inside of the bowl, especially up under the rim where buildup loves to hide. Then walk away and give it 10 to 15 minutes. When you come back, a single flush is often enough to carry the loosened deposits down the drain. For tougher spots, one quick pass with a soft brush finishes the job. No heavy scrubbing, no bleach fumes, and you do not even need gloves. Because citric acid is biodegradable and non-toxic, it is safe around children, pets, and septic systems, which matters a lot if you think about what is going down your pipes. Now, one genuinely important safety warning, and please do not skip this. Never mix citric acid with any chlorine-based cleaner like bleach. Combining an acid with chlorine can release toxic gas. That is not a minor risk, it is dangerous. So if you are switching over to citric acid, flush away any previous cleaner completely before you spray. Acid and bleach never share a bowl. Once you are comfortable with citric acid on its own, there is a second method that takes it further by bringing baking soda into the mix. You have seen the classic baking soda volcano at a school science fair. That same fizzing reaction happens when baking soda meets citric acid, and it turns out to be a stain's worst enemy. Sprinkle about 2 tablespoons of baking soda directly into the bowl water, then add 1 tablespoon of citric acid powder on top. The instant they touch, the mixture starts fizzing hard, releasing carbon dioxide bubbles that physically lift grime and mineral deposits off the porcelain. Those bubbles get into the pores and the crevices and the spots under the rim that a brush has honestly never reached. Let it fizz for about 15 minutes, then flush. For a heavily stained bowl, repeat the process, or let it sit for a full hour. Here is a clever trick. You can make cleaning tablets in advance. Mix baking soda, citric acid, and a few drops of essential oil. Press the mixture into an ice cube tray and freeze it. When it is time to clean, you just drop 1 cube in and walk away. It fizzes, cleans, and deodorizes all at once, with 0 effort and no measuring. A bag of citric acid and a box of baking soda together cost less than a single bottle of brand name toilet cleaner, and they last for months. Now here is where the Korean approach gets genuinely interesting. Because so far, everything we have covered is something you do after the residue appears. Korean engineers asked a completely different question. What if the toilet barely got dirty in the first place? That thinking is why the bidet seat, the smart toilet, is close to standard equipment in modern Korean homes rather than some rare luxury. And Korea did not just import this idea, it built an entire industry around it. There is Novita, a Samsung-owned brand that has been making bidets since the 1980s and is one of the most popular names in the country. There is Inus, which has been a pioneer of Korean bidet technology since the 1970s. There is Coway, Blooming, and a handful of others. This is a domestic field that Korea has been refining for decades. So what do these seats actually do for cleanliness? Quite a lot, and most of it happens automatically. A modern Korean bidet seat rinses the bowl with a stream of water as a normal part of use, which means far less waste residue ever gets the chance to bond to the porcelain in the first place. You are removing the source of staining at the moment it happens, instead of letting it dry, set, and accumulate the way it does in a dry, unrinsed toilet. That alone changes the entire math on toilet cleaning. But the better seats go further. Many of them come with self-cleaning nozzles that rinse themselves before and after each use, so the part doing the washing stays clean too. They include automatic deodorizing systems that pull odor out of the bowl rather than just masking it. Some use antimicrobial surface treatments designed to make it harder for bacteria to take hold. And nearly all of them keep a film of fresh water moving across the porcelain, so grime has a much harder time grabbing on. Put all of that together, and the result is a toilet that quietly does a large share of the cleaning work for you, every single time it is used. This is the 정리정돈 idea expressed in hardware instead of habit. Prevention built right into the fixture. If you have ever wondered why a Korean bathroom can go so long looking spotless, this is a big part of the answer. Now, a full smart toilet or a high-end bidet seat is an investment, and you do not need one to get most of this benefit. Even a basic bidet attachment delivers the core advantage, rinsing the bowl with water during normal use for a fraction of the price. The expensive seats add comfort and automation, but the underlying principle that keeps the porcelain clean is the water itself. So let us put the whole thing together into a routine that takes almost no time and keeps the toilet white all year. Daily, 60 seconds. Keep wipes or a spray bottle of diluted citric acid next to the toilet, and after the last use of the day, wipe the seat, the rim, and the exterior. That is the habit that prevents nearly everything else. Weekly, drop a baking soda and citric acid fizz bomb into the bowl, let it work for 15 minutes while you do something else, and flush. Monthly, do a deeper citric acid soak. Spray a stronger solution around the bowl, under the rim, and along the waterline, and let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. For really stubborn deposits under the rim, soak a few squares of toilet paper in the citric acid solution and press them against the stain so the acid stays in contact longer. Then flush and give a light brush if anything remains. If your toilet is severely neglected, with years of mineral buildup, do not try to fix it in one go. Run the fizz method or a deep soak a few nights in a row. Each treatment dissolves another layer, and within about a week, even a badly stained bowl will look dramatically different. The key is that none of this requires the arm-aching scrubbing marathon you are used to. You are letting chemistry and time do the work that you used to do with brute force. Here is what this actually costs. A bag of citric acid powder runs about $1 or $2 and lasts for months. A box of baking soda is roughly $1. A few drops of essential oil are optional if you want homemade tablets. Compare that to brand-name toilet cleaners and bleach products, which cost several dollars per bottle. Get used up fast and fill your bathroom with fumes every time. A household that switches over can save real money over a year. But the bigger return is not the money. It is never breathing chlorine in a small enclosed room again, never wondering what is going into your water supply, and never dreading the chore in the first place. The deeper lesson here is not really about citric acid or baking soda or bidets. It is about the relationship between small daily habits and big results. The Korean principle of 정리정돈 is not about scrubbing harder. It is about wiping sooner. It is the understanding that the cleanest toilet is the one that never got the chance to become dirty. You do not let the bathroom become a problem and then attack it once a week. You spend 60 seconds today, and the problem simply never arrives. Prevention over reaction. Natural ingredients over harsh chemicals. Small daily motions over weekend marathons. Once you see your bathroom that way, it stops being a chore you dread and becomes something that more or less takes care of itself. If this changed how you think about cleaning your bathroom, subscribe. And if you want to see the same Korean approach applied to the most dreaded appliance in the kitchen, our video on cleaning your oven the Korean way without a single chemical spray is on screen right now. Go watch that one next.